Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Wilson Contreras signing for the St. Louis Cardinals and what that means for the team. But before we get into that, I want to say a few things. I know I haven't posted much content recently, and I know I haven't posted much MLB content recently, but I was hoping I can get back into things, start posting more content for you guys. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. One of the biggest signings this offseason was Wilson Contreras signing with his in-division rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, leaving his longtime team, the Chicago Cubs. The signing helps fill a massive gap for the St. Louis Cardinals at their catcher position, and Contreras is the guy they all wanted to have. Last season, Contreras hit .243, had an on-base percentage of .349, a slugging percentage of .466, which was good enough for an OPS plus of 128, and he also hit 22 home runs. He did have a -1 DRS, but taking a look at his Baseball Savant page, you see a lot of red circles in the hitting department. 98th percentile on max exit velocity, 90th percentile on hard hit percentage, 94th percentile on xWOBA. You do see some bad stuff with the whiff percentage and the chase rate, but you can't complain. On the defensive end, he has good pop time to second base, but his framing lacks in the 25th percentile, which isn't going to be what many Cardinals fans are used to, but you can't complain when he's that good on offense. The catcher that Wilson Contreras is going to be replacing is longtime Cardinals backstop Yadier Molina. I mean, he's a great player, but last season we all saw it. He just didn't have a good year. He had .214, had a .233 on base percentage, a .302 slug, which is good for a 53 OPS plus. He still had 9 DRS, and looking at his Baseball Savant page, wasn't much to see. I mean, his framing is still 79th percentile. You knew he's going to be so good at that, but the other catcher that is also getting replaced is Andrew Knizner. Not a lot to see here either. .215 average, .301 on base percentage, 300 slug, good enough for a 75 OPS plus. But he did have -7 DRS, which you just do not want to see from a catcher. Looking at his Baseball Savant page, you don't see much. I mean, 64th percentile max exit velocity, I guess, but what does that really care for? There's also like Austin Romine. They had a backstop last year, but I mean, I couldn't tell you one thing he did for the team, so I'm not even going to look up his stats, and I'm pretty sure he got DFA'd at the deadline, so Austin Romine doesn't really matter. Now, looking at the whole Cardinals lineup as a whole, adding Wilson Contreras into it, I love the gap they filled at catcher. I mean, it was one of the weakest positions the team had, if not the weakest. And the rest of the lineup still looks good. I mean, you can probably expect some regression from Arenado and Goldie, but they should both still be elite hitters. And I mean, maybe they don't regress. Maybe they can keep up that pace. I'm not really sure. Another gap they have in the lineup, though, is at DH. They don't really have anyone to hit lefty bats yet. They have Gorman to hit righties, but I think the Cardinals should go out and sign Trey Mancini since he is still in the free agent market. I think he fills that gap nicely. In right field, you got Lars Nootbaar. I expect more improvement from him. He had a great season last year, really stepped up into his role, looked great. I mean, you gotta love to see that from Lars Nootbaar, one of my favorite players on the Cardinals. At left field, I mean, you got Tyler O'Neill. Last year wasn't the best, had a lot of injury problems, couldn't really find his stride. But in 2021, we saw an MVP type year. And if you're Cardinals fans, you just got to hope that he can return to that because that adds another explosive bat to the lineup. Going on to center field, they got Dylan Carlson. He really wasn't very consistent last year. He was kind of up and down both years, including his rookie year. You hope he can maybe find consistency. He's still a great glove in center field, so the bat is all that needs to really improve. You can also hope that Tommy Edman and Brendan Donovan, their two utility middle infielder spots, can do what they did last year. I mean, they both had great seasons. Can't complain from them. I mean, they play a ton of defensive positions too, and they do them pretty much all elite. I mean, I'm pretty sure Donovan won the utility Gold Glove, and I mean, Edman probably should have been in the running for Gold Glove at like 3 different positions. You also hope that Contreras can step into his role. He can learn his pitching staff, be a good defensive catcher for them, and still keep up his good offensive numbers he's had throughout his entire career. And if all these things happen, even if some of them don't, this is easily a top 10 lineup in the league. I mean, you can't complain with all these bats they have. I mean, they don't really have any more gaps. They just kind of need consistent bats out of some guys, some younger guys in the lineup. And I think the side this team really lacks is actually on the pitching side. I mean, I think they should have went out and got another starter. this entire free agency, but now that we're getting the later part, closer to opening day, I don't think there's much left to get. I mean, they kind of are stuck with their starting rotation they have now. I still think they should go get another bullpen arm, preferably a lefty, since Genesis Cabrera is kind of inconsistent. He even got sent down to the minors last year. Can't really hope that he does good. So I think they should go out and get Andrew Chafin. I really love Andrew Chafin. He had a good season for the Tigers last year. He shouldn't be too expensive, I wouldn't think. Maybe you can get him on a 1-year or a 2-year deal with a club option, maybe. I think that would really help out that bullpen. And I think with all these moves, they could easily run away with this division. I mean, who's going to compete with them? The Brewers, their offense isn't too good. Of course, they got that elite pitching staff. The Cubs, I don't expect them to do much. I mean, they made some good signings, but I expect them to be right around 500. I look for the Cardinals to load up more at the deadline, too. They always like to grab some lefty starters. I mean, that wouldn't bother. I mean, that would honestly be a good pickup for them. And hopefully they can make a deep playoff run, because this team has been knocked out twice in the wild card round. It's been tough to watch for the fans of this team. Hopefully they can just load up, make it a deeper run. Wish they could have done it last year for guys like Pujols and Yachty and Wainwright. But, of course, couldn't do it on their last dance, so maybe this year's the year. And it's going to get down to it, because Goldie might start regressing a lot more. He's getting up there in age. I mean, this is time for the Cardinals to just go for it. I mean, this is the best opportunity they've had in a long time to make a deep playoff run, so I think they definitely should go for it. If you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.